I'll just like pop on. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I am so excited for tonight. We have a, just a really amazing treat with this dream experiment that you did. So I am so excited for that. I've been waiting for this, I think, all week. Like, there's not been a day where I'm like, I wonder what everyone got out of this dream. Ooh, hi,
I
Leo's making.
know. I've been holding on to everything and I've been dying to share it with somebody. So I've just been like talking to my husband about it all week.
I love that. Oh, hey, I saw Mark's on the side here. Sorry that you're not feeling well, man. Hopefully, you get better as the week goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what was I have to ask you this right away before we jump into anything else. Was there something like anything from doing this experiment that maybe either shocked you or jumped out at you from people that participated? Did you notice a pattern right away, or did it take having to like dive into
there was definitely a theme. It's the thing that surprised me was, I mean, I didn't know what to expect because it's like you put objects out and you hope that people be able to connect, because it would be really disappointing if nothing happened, but that's what experiments are about, right?
Right.
But I was surprised that the results were somewhat collective, yet didn't come in the way I thought they would. So it was like a surprise, but a cool one. So, and there was a lot of other little things that happened that like I said, I can't wait to share. It was really weird.
Love that. So there was a lot of people that participated then too, right?
Well, I had 11 people send me dreams. So
that's
I mean, that was perfect for me because, I was able to go through the dreams and like kind of like, like those boards with the red lines and stuff. I was like wanted like everybody's photo with a board and do the little lines and how they connected to Anna Mae. I actually did look for green yarn, but I couldn't.
Like you yarn them together so you have like the
I totally wanted to.
I love that. Oh my goodness.
It was cool. And I wonder after like the week following, did people have more dreams that connected to it? Or like dreams that seemed to connect to the dream they had. I personally had nightmares, really bad nightmares for the first 2 nights after the experiment. Yeah. And normally nightmares they bother me, but I'll like take it in and be like, okay, this is like something I can really dig into and figure out what this means. So it's kind of different for me when I get nightmares, but these were disturbing that I would not write them down. And I didn't, and they've actually faded. I just remember they were so disturbing. I wanted nothing to do with them. But then by looking at everybody's results and somebody did a reading about it, I was able to give Anna Mae something that she wanted, that she was trying to tell everybody through the dreams.
So this was kind of like her moment to reach out.
I feel like it was. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
I love it. Do you think that I know we have people on the side I want to say hi to before we dive too much into this, but speaking of Anna Mae, do you feel like she reached out to you on like not even in dreams, just like in regular world, paranormal world, however you want to say, like, do you feel like she reached out to you before and after, or both, before the experiment at all?
I feel like it kept coming to my mind that I haven't worked with her in a long time. And that kept coming to my mind, maybe because she's sitting on the shelf and I see her, but it's like I kept saying, I really got to do an experiment with her. I got to work with her. And then, life goes and you get busy. And so, I mean, it did just keep coming to my mind, and I have other dolls and other things to experiment with, but that did keep coming to mind.
So yes, I feel like she may have persuaded this on her own too. This may have been more her experiment than anything, right? Like she gave you the idea. So we have quite a few people on the side here showing up. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Hey, Courtney.
Hi.
Your Joe B, I see on there. Hey, Joe B.
Hi.
Sailor, hey.
Hi.
Hey, Mike. How are you, Michael? Nice. So we have some dreams, right? Some dream interpretations as well.
Yeah, We also have 2 dreams that were sent in, and we're going to do the interpretations, and Dani will pull the cards for
Well,
us.
yes.
And we'll do more cards, but I mean, if you guys want me to get started on the dream experiment, I can. Yeah, even Rob has. I have not told. Nobody knows anything about it. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, I think everybody watching does know. Basically, we were all supposed to try to connect with Anna Mae, and I placed a bunch of objects on a table to try to like inspire interesting dreams. And I wanted people to see if they could connect with any of those objects. And before I reveal that, because I know there's people who are watching that probably did it and they didn't send in their dream for one reason or another, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to bring that up. But the funny thing is that the biggest highlight of this is that most of the people in the study that sent in their dreams had something about the color green. It was either a green light, a car green, the color green, green snakes. It was all, a lot of it was about green. The secondary color was red. A lot of people dreamt about color red. People were wearing red. Everything was red. And then a lot of people dreamt about the country or country music, a farm, flower fields, kind of like a country setting.
Okay.
And then the last one was a car. There was several people that dreamt about a car. And I can bring this up because now I don't remember the exact things. But let me see. There was... I'm going to scroll down. So I have 6 people dreamt about the color red, 4 about the car, looks like 7 the color green, and then 5 the farm. Now I had 2 other people, Rob, now I lost the picture. Where is it? I'm clicking on stuff. Rob and Justin, they had dreams where I feel like they were in this room. So theirs was a little different. Everybody else was kind of like they were somewhere else. It was more abstract. They were getting like symbols and colors. But I feel like Rob and Justin both were here. And so leading into that, I'm going to tell you, I myself had 4 experiences. The first one was at 1:11. I woke up and I heard a woman yell out, and it was coming from my office. And I'm just like sitting there going, did I hear that?
Oh my God.
And I didn't want to come in here and disturb anything because I was trying to do stuff. So I like kind of like just was like, okay. And then the next time was, so I was trying to decide if that was Rob because of something he said to me. For 1:52, I heard a noise in my office, like somebody was moving things around. We checked the video on both of these. I saw nothing. 2:14, I had a dream and somebody told me that they lost connection. And then somewhere before 5 a.m., I had a dream. A man told me he was not sure if the door would shut and was afraid to go through it. And I told him just put a sheet in the doorway so it doesn't shut. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody, you know, with my experiences. You know, I didn't see anything in the video. I made like 12 hours of video, so it was really hard to like check that. But so here's the thing is Denise, what was it? Empy? She sent in a reading. She's a medium, I guess, or a psychic. But she said to me in her reading that she kept getting, I guess I should probably try to find it. But she said that she got a little red Matchbox car that was sitting next to Anna Mae and that she preferred it to be green. And so I'll pop this up. This is what was on the table. Okay. So she was sitting next to a red Matchbox car and several people, Sam was another one. She said to me when she was thinking about Anna Mae before she went to sleep, she was just getting the color green, just all green. And then she saw a car and that was all she could get from it. Right. And so, and then like you saw a green flash of light.
Yeah.
Right?
Real bright green flash of light. And then that's when like everything else that I saw came through.
Right. And then you had gotten where you saw her holding a note card and you thought it said thank you. And it was white with black ink, right?
Yes.
But I looked up, it's a star, right? But a star can also be like a way of saying thank you or good job or whatever, right? So I kind of feel like that everybody was getting this, not everybody, but a lot of people were getting the green and the car. Like Bill was another one. He had a dream, and part of his dream that there was a car that he was going to paint. And I think he said it might have been red and he was going to paint it green. Right? I mean, it's so many people that dreamt that. I just felt like that was a strange coincidence if that's what it is. And if you see, everything on the table is red. The notepad is kind of like a turquoise. And I did have a green incense in there.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of interesting.
Huh.
But so I took the note that you saw, the thank you, and you heard her say thank you. I took her, she used you to say thank you. She used Denise to say what she wanted. So I did give her a green car. She has a green car now. And then I also had, you had even mentioned like there was paint chipping off of a chair. Well, if you look in the photo, you can see there is paint chipping off of that chair. And you do see the wood. And you mentioned that in your dream.
Yes, like I could see the natural wood and then there was paint chips. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And then Chris Sumner had dreamt she got a strong about the color red. And then she also was in a courtroom, but she thought that it was in Britain. And I have the little British phone booth, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. And then as far as the coins go, it comes out to 23 cents, but I didn't get anybody who sent it in, but maybe somebody watching got that. And then I did, the note that I wrote was, are you dreaming or are you awake? You know? So, I mean, I thought that was really cool. And then I'm going to bring up the video too, just so you guys can see what the full setup looks like, just to see, because now there's people who saw like the room. So I'll bring that up. So that was the setup overnight. And like I said, I have to go through 12 hours of footage. I'm going to put an hour and a half of the video
in the room too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
There's a lot of like seeing chairs.
Yeah. Oh, see? And they do have the paint chipping off of them. And you had said that they had different colors underneath besides the wood, didn't you?
Yeah. No, it was like the wood, and then I could see like paint chips in white.
Okay, because the chairs at one time were natural wood. Then I've painted them like green and yellow. I tend to paint things often. And I tried to stick with the star theme. So everything in there, obviously the floor's got stars. The chairs actually have stars on them, and the chairs are like a purple color. But Justin had said that he saw Anna Mae sitting on a table in between what he thought might have been two shelves, but I think it was the two chairs that he saw. Yeah. And he said he saw a picture above her, but he couldn't make out what the picture was. But those are like my different like certificates and licenses and stuff. And then I don't know if Rob wants to pop on and talk about what he experienced.
Hi.
So, yeah, look, I'm excited about this too. Deedee, we really didn't get to talk. There's a couple little things, right? Even something that I thought was super insignificant. I don't know. We're going to have to mark this spot, 1404. So I swear it could have been my eyes because my glasses are dirty, but in your mirror, it looked like something.
Oh,
like a mirror on the door, right? Not like a hole in the door.
Yeah, it's a mirror. No, it's a mirror.
But yeah, so, so where do you want me to start? With the first dream?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my God. I don't have a lot of nightmares. And when I do, I usually remember them. I don't remember my other dreams. But this was the day before. This was Saturday night. I went to sleep. This was on my mind, right? So got to take that into consideration. And I had this dream, right? And I was at somebody's house with people who I don't know who I was with. I don't remember looking at anybody. I don't remember, but I know I was supposed to be there, either for an investigation. We were studying something, right, or looking at something, and there was this big cardboard, like a banker's box with stuff in it, and that's what we were looking at. I can't remember everything. I think it was a toy soldier. There was the thing I remember the most was this jewelry box, like a gray jewelry box with a triangle on it. Don't know. Maybe that's part of the star, right? So
Or there is a
Oh,
triangle.
yeah.
And it's
where?
on top of this German book that has a story about a soldier.
Oh, the pyramid.
Oh my gosh.
Um
Oh my
it was
gosh.
that, but I remember the toy soldier. I remember
Mhm.
that box. There was something else. Shit. I wrote it down. Don't even remember because that part
Clock.
was
You said a clock.
a clock. There was a clock. Um did I say what time it was set to? I don't think so.
No, I
It'd
don't
be
think
interesting
so.
if the time was the change. That would be so cool. Like the
Yeah,
total of the change, right? But
that would
anyway,
be.
we were done with whatever we were doing, and someone said, "Go put this back in the back room." And I was coming out of a kitchen, so I had this box. I was carried it back down a little hallway to this room on the left. Went in, put it on the desk, and when I put it down. I was done. I turned, and I was coming to walk out of the room. In came this big ass shadow, right? Like a shadow person with a big head and
Okay.
crazy hair. I remember I looked up. It scared me so bad. I was screaming. Like I screamed. That's what woke me up. Um, like I woke up out of my mind, and Leo came running in, right? Because he usually sleeps with Dani in her room now. Um, and he
Yes.
like licked my face, and I didn't know I'm like, what time is it? Like, because I have in this complex I live in now, it's bright as shit out back. There's the parking lot with the street lights, so I never know if it's day or night on that side of the bedroom. So I grabbed my phone. It was like a little after 4:01, 4:02. I was like, oh my God, that was terrifying. And I did. I went right back to sleep. So that was Saturday. Later that day, I asked Dani when she, did you hear me screaming?
I didn't
She
hear
didn't hear it. I know this is real. So I did. I woke up and wrote all that shit down. Maybe it was Friday. I don't remember what day it was. And then that next night or that day later, I went back to look at the write-up for this, right? And it didn't dawn on me until then that Anna Mae's hair kind of resembled what I saw in this shadow thing in the room, walking into the door. And I went and I reread that, and I was like, let me just try meditating on this. And from doing the RV practice, I try to push out the analytical overlays, and I kept coming back to the lemon you talked about, right? And the color, I think it was gold in the write-up. But I kept coming back to a green apple. There was a green apple, and I'm like, stop, because Deedee wrote a fruit in there. I don't know if that's a seed. Push it out, push it out. But that was really all I was kind of coming up with, and I hadn't had coffee yet. That's next
And it's
night.
green.
And it was
Yeah.
green. Yeah.
Then that next night, I don't know why, but it did feel like a continuation of the dream. I ended up. Do you have a basement?
No.
Okay, so I ended up in a basement. And there's all these other boxes, right? And I'm looking for another box now. And as I'm pushing these boxes away, there's spider webs and a couple of spiders. So I grabbed, laying there was this stuffed animal, and I think it was a dog. And I grabbed this stuffed animal to like push away the spider webs. And I remember like it was just time to go. Like I had to get out of there, and I stood up, and I felt like a hand on my shoulder, and my flashlight started to dim. That's when I'm known to panic, right? So I was like, fuck. I grabbed my phone. I remember grabbing my phone to try to unlock it, and every time I tried to unlock it, the number 9 showed up on the phone.
And I looked that up, and the number 9, I was just realizing that you might be describing my garage, because in my garage, which is to the right of me, there's a shit ton of boxes in there, and I'm sure there's spiders in there. And we do have, like, the kids have stuffed animals. Like when you have kids, you adopt the stuffed animals and they move and you still have them. And so a lot of them, I like set them up in the garage because I feel bad stuffing them in a box. So sometimes I just have, and there are weird looking animals. So, but the number 9 is a way, in numerology, it's a goodbye, an ending.
Oh, really?
See? Yeah.
See,
oh, wow.
So like this one didn't terrify me, but it also woke me up, right? Like I wasn't
Yeah.
screaming. But it was weird. I'll give you that. Like, I don't remember a lot of dreams. I just don't. But these two I do remember. Um the the room that I brought this, I knew where I was. Like I knew where I was going. That's the part that's weird, but it's unlike anywhere else. So there's a kitchen, right? We were in the kitchen looking at all these things, and then maybe a 15-foot hallway, 10-foot hallway, and there's a room
10,
off
yeah.
to the left that I just knew
Yeah.
I had.
Yeah, if in my house, my kitchen, because this is an add-on. This is like an 80s house, so they always built like those bonus rooms that were unfinished. So this room's
Oh, yeah.
been finished, but it used to be part of the garage, and now it's the bonus room. So the door behind me, it goes to the kitchen, and the kitchen is like a 10-foot hallway because it's a straight line kitchen, because it would have ended there. And so it's kind of like walking through a hallway. Like, so you're in the kitchen. It's like walking through a hallway to get in here. And it's very separate from the rest of the house.
Yeah, this felt, I think that was part of the fear for me, right? Because I knew it was separated. Is there another room or is it just that room?
It's just this room, but to the right of me is the garage.
Okay,
so that could have been the other room that you
and that's
ended
the
up in.
door I didn't go through. So maybe it wasn't a basement. I don't know. I don't remember stairs or anything. I just knew it was like basement, like, right? There was boxes.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make
the
story
fit. A garage would make sense for that though too.
Yeah,
it was pretty damn cool. So, I did write everything down. I emailed it to you. And the only thing we talked about so far, she was just like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to fill you in on this." And I'm like, damn it. Like, I wanted to know for the past 2 or 3 days. So, seeing those pictures. And then I thought about our Anna Mae EVP session way back. When the hell was that? Halloween?
It was a Halloween like a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with this doll or if this is even connected, but when I went back and looked at your write-up and looked at her hair, it kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, what creeps me out, because what you're describing is my house. And that you saw her walking. It's almost like, it's interesting to me though that like you were in here, and so she was someplace else, and she's coming back in like, "Hey, what are you doing in my space?"
Yeah, like it was coming in with purpose, and it was bigger than me, whatever that was. I screamed. I know my neighbors are like, "What's going on up in that apartment?" Yeah, it was. I don't have a lot of those. Let's just put it that way. Like every now and then, but holy shit. So, but looking at her picture and seeing her hair, it did creep me out. I was like, oh God. So I don't know. But seeing the photo now and looking at that, and now hearing the green thing, the green's cool. Like that to me is cool, because that's the one thing we talked about just before the show. So I was telling Deedee, because I didn't write this in the email because I didn't think it was anything.
Right.
And it may not be, but I kept going back to an apple, and she's like, "What color was it?" I was like, "It was green. It was like green apple, like super green." So I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was cool. I love this whole experiment.
A lot of people had green.
Me too. Yeah, there was, because now I can add Rob to that too. And what did I say? It was like 7 people. So that'd be 8 people out of 11. Green came up, and then the people where green didn't come up, it was red, which was on the table. Almost everything. I tried to stick to color themes, so everything was red and black, except for the 2 little bits of green. I just find it interesting that the green seemed to be the entry point for people to get into communication, and it was mostly about a car.
So green,
Sam missed what I said.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam, you nailed it.
She's gonna get to it, but in dream worlds, green is what in dream interpretation.
Well, actually, it's funny that you brought that up, because I was trying to decide, why do I feel like people used green as a way to communicate? So I looked up, and there's a thing called the green thread, and it symbolizes the essence inherent in all life, which builds and enlivens every form in permanently increasing circles, from the single particle to the endless dimension of the universe, from matter to the energetic vibration, from the past to the present, into the future, into infinity, So I took that to mean like green is, green is everything. It's all life, and it's also a thread. So because usually green, like as a dream symbol, would be like abundance and health and nature. So, but I went a little further into the green. Like I was thinking of the red thread, but there's also a green thread, which is connecting everything like through nature and the universe. And it's talked about past and future. So I feel like it can connect you, because that's what remote viewing does too, right? It's not necessarily that's happening right now. You can look back or look forward.
Yeah. It can be a million years ago, a million years in the future, or
I feel like dreams do the same thing.
Yeah, look, this has always fascinated me, but now I'm even more intrigued, right? Because to set up experiments like this with, it's just cool, right?
Yeah.
So, and this goes back to, in fact, going a long ways back, Deedee, with this, right? Some of the EVPs I captured at the Conjuring House, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one? There's
Yeah.
one EVP, and if I played it right, people wouldn't believe it. That you just hear this guy, you hear a guy go, he makes this weird like warbly sound. He says, "I'm dreaming." Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I mean, that is literally it. It's just got a deep voice, such a great EVP. And that's when we first started talking about maybe dreams and shadow people and all this.
Yeah.
We all start connecting.
Yeah.
But this was, for me, this is amazing. I can't wait to hear Sam's story too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, Sam was saying that she had, I don't know if you want to pop on and talk about it, Sam. You can. We'll shoot you a link. I don't know. She might be.
You should come on, Sam.
Busy. Yeah, that'd be fun. But pretty much she, as she was getting ready for sleep, she was like focusing on Anna Mae, which is what everybody, was supposed to be doing. And she just kept getting like hit with like green, like just green, the color green, And so then all of a sudden she saw a car, and it was definitely a car. She mentioned it wasn't an SUV. It was definitely a car. And I just think that is amazing. Yeah, Sam, I think it's so cool. And then I don't know, did she just pop on that Denise actually found out from Anna Mae that Anna Mae was sitting next to the red car, which she was, but she prefers it to be green. So I gave her a green car. And when I did that, because I was having nightmares for 2 nights, really bad ones, and once I gave her the green car, my nightmare stopped.
Get the heck out. It was like, hey, I want a green car.
Yeah. And I'm sure it goes deeper, but I feel like I feel like that was a way for communication. I don't even know what that really means, but so we've all come together to do this. She or something wanted this green car. Like, it may not even be so important about the car, but just that there was able to have a communication and then do something in the physical world about it. Like, that could be scary if you think about it, but it's interesting.
So interesting. I love that many people got the color green, and then that the green connects to the green thread, which is all of us connecting. And
yeah. I'll be really interesting to know if anybody has like follow-up dreams. I did have a couple of people write me. One person who wasn't in the dream experiment, but was having nightmares or a nightmare about Anna Mae. And then
Wait,
somebody.
Does that happen? Do people?
I don't know, unless somebody tells me. I don't know. And it depends on I don't know what the dream was, because she never sent it to me.
Okay.
And then I had another person who was in the dream experiment, and they were having nightmares. I don't know if it was about the doll or because of the doll, because again, they didn't send me what the actual dreams were. And I also had nightmares, like I said, for the 2 nights. So I don't know.
Watching.
Sorry, Sam. I had to share that.
I can't believe. Oh my goodness. You think too, like with the car being green, but a car, because it's a vehicle, so it being green would be like a vehicle for communication. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
A far
it
stretch there.
could be anything, but like the general term for car is it's how you're traveling on your path. So if you're driving, that's good. If someone else is driving, that's bad. That means somebody else is driving your path. So it's all about you being in charge of driving your path and where you're going. So it would depend on where you're going. But as far as colors go, I mean, green is for abundance and stuff. And I always am working with speaking abundance and stuff like that. And I'm really into nature. Like I'll go out there every day and I walk my cat on a leash because we have coyotes. So I take them out on a leash and I walk them around, and we go and we say hello to every single tree and flower and bush that we have. So I'm very try to be very connected with nature. So, I mean, I could be overreading that, but
No way. So I forgot to
green light, go.
Oh, man, there you go. Yeah, I guess green is associated with go, with movement, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. It's like a yes. Well, and actually, if you think about it, on my YouTube channel, I have a REM pod session I did with Anna Mae, and I have the yes and no boxes. I have two, one's green and one's red. And it was the green box that she was always playing with. She would never do the red box, but she'd always do the green box.
Yeah.
That was probably a clue right there, huh?
Yeah.
I just realized that.
She likes green.
Yeah.
Very
I should give her a green outfit.
Aw. She's little though. You'd have to find a little outfit for her.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Yeah,
I mean, you can always.
Oh, can we do another dream experiment at some point? Because this was so
I definitely want to do it again because it was, in my opinion, it was very successful. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take it a little bit further. I was trying to find shadow figures, which at this point, I haven't seen anything in any of my recordings. There was nothing. It's one of those cameras where it'll keep recording, but it'll highlight little spots where there's activity. None of the spots were highlighted. So I've gone in on the times that people gave me. I went in on the times for myself. So if anybody knows exactly what time they woke up from a dream, tell me exactly what time it was and what, if you're Eastern time, Pacific time, whatever.
Okay,
so I could try to check it, but I'm going to pop up the video on my YouTube, an hour and a half of it. I'm going to do an hour and a half segments. And if anybody does find something in one of my videos, I will give them a free dream interpretation.
That's fun. Okay.
So, but yeah, I want to do it again. I want to set up a recorder and actually record because I heard somebody yell out. And I'm the only one that heard it because I wasn't recording. I had no sound.
But just the fact that you could hear it without the aid of having it to be recorded and then playing it back. It wasn't an EVP. It was in real time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was loud. I was just sitting there going, what?
Oh, I love that. Oh, man. I don't know. Next time, everybody, what do you think? You got it. Oh.
I would maybe we can. Why don't we talk to Stacy a little bit too, right? And try to weave a little bit of remote viewing into it. Yeah. So, which was what I maybe was trying to do the day I was meditating, just because I practiced the remote viewing thing. But what if you make it sort of two parts, right? And you can have your husband create a blind target, right? Put it in a manila envelope or something. Mm-hmm. Have that along with the objects or the setup that you have here, and then just see what they get. Do the meditation, conscious, awake, and the dream. Add another twist into this. Oh, it's gonna be cool. Just an idea.
Oh, I kind of love that.
I love it. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah. What time you woke up from the dream study. So when whatever time you woke up from your dream. Yeah. Yeah, that would help me look on my, because looking at 12 hours and then also goes 1 through 23:59 or whatever. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. I'm wait, and there's 2 days. It's the 14th to the 15th. So I'm looking at the dates and the time and I'm God, what time is this?
Oh no.
9:30 Eastern time. Okay. So 6:30. Okay. 9:30 a.m. So 6:30
okay.
a.m. Okay. All right. I'll check
Next
that
time,
one.
oh man, if you get a shadow figure or something crazy that happens in there, I'm gonna geek out right there with you because I really how could that not like I feel like that has to happen, right? Some of what we see
Yeah.
has to be people dreaming, has to be people's consciousness traveling somewhere else.
I think so. Or even
Yes.
somebody even like focusing, dwelling on something. Like I gave the example of that house that I loved and how I would literally sit here, close my eyes and picture myself sitting in that house, walking around that house
And why
with a
couldn't
lot of intention of being there and desiring to be there. So does that project a shadow?
it has to, right? Like because
Right?
that's your attention is also part of your energy. So if you're putting
Yeah.
it there, why couldn't your energy would have to be going there. That's how
Right. And then,
we get the information. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep trying with that and see what we get.
Yes. Please, can we? First time
Hi.
can't believe it. Hi, Rose. Thank you for being here. So,
All right. Well,
the dream experiment went really well, but we also have some dream interpretations to go over as well.
yeah, we do.
Taller
I
and
love that.
my dreams would recognize me. It's a
Maybe
neat.
she ran into Rob.
There you go. That's what it was.
What? And why couldn't it be like maybe there was dreamers running into each other? I don't know. But I'm fully convinced that two dreamers were actually here in some form.
Well, just even hearing from what Rob said and having you validate like parts of your home, he could have been seeing. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to tighten up that door handle a little bit. On that.
Interesting thoughts, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not? Right? Yeah.
I think so too. And especially with dreaming, I mean, you're so free. You're just, going with the flow that you're not sitting there questioning.
Well, here's the thing. So Rob had brought in about
oh, that's interesting.
Oh. Well, there you go. So with remote viewing, right? Rob, didn't you had a moment where what was that called? Bilocating or whatever. He had a moment.
Bilocation.
So maybe we could capture something like that if we're going to incorporate that with the next dream.
That's what I was saying. Perhaps if that's all set up. Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying too. That could be a whole new layer to it. Man, you could go crazy with this. But yeah, bilocation is where you kind of Dani and someone else witnessed this happen, right?
Like, it was so weird. Yeah.
Dude, I was just gone. All of a sudden, I was like maybe mid-sentence or middle of a thought.
Oh yeah, you were mid-sentence and you were like, you weren't like.
And then all
your
of a sudden,
consciousness just wasn't there anymore.
Somewhere else, right? I was back at the Conjuring House, and I was on the second floor, and I could see somebody that I knew, and he was standing there, kind of looking at me funny, but I knew he couldn't see me. It was the craziest thing. He was holding a camera, and I just I'm like, this is nuts. Like, what's happening? And I was like, I said, I knew I wasn't alone. I was like, do me a favor and scare him. And then boom, I was back here. Like, I kind of came out of it. Everybody was looking at me funny. And then every printer, and I have 3 printers up here.
They went off.
They all started printing nothing. And this weird sound bubble. Even the dog was quiet, which is strange. There was this weird sound bubble that happened the whole time. So it gets better. The next morning, I saw a friend that was at that house the night before. So I messaged her. I'm like, hey, Lori, was so-and-so there? And she's like, yeah, why? And I'm like, did he ever go up on the second floor by himself? She's like, yeah, he was up there taking pictures. And I was like, did he get scared? And she's like, yeah, a motion sensor went off and he came down nervous or something like that. And I was like, holy shit. So I called Stacy up. And like, because this is when I was studying RV hardcore. I'm like, dude, what?
Oh, interesting.
What is that? He's like, dude, that's called bilocation. He started explaining it. And he's like, yeah, it can be actually dangerous. If you get too deep in an RV, it can happen while you're driving or when you
Oh my
don't want it
God.
to. Yeah, when you don't
Yeah.
want it to happen. It was weird. There were literal, like physical things that happened here when that
Mhm.
happened.
Huh.
But I knew who was there and I knew what he was holding. And it was, I can't, to this day, it's one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah.
And you had perfect validation for it. You have someone that was trustworthy there that could,
Oh,
without
yeah.
you
Yeah.
giving her the
Like I
information,
would,
was able to
there was
give you
no way for me to know that person was there because we blocked each other on Facebook. So
Oh.
yeah, which is why, I was like, do me a favor, scare him. It was just one of the coolest experiences ever. And
Yeah.
I had something happen again one other time. It wasn't quite as dramatic, but it's just, I don't know.
Hmm.
Some people would call it, there's probably a lot of things you can call it, right? But I was physically aware of what was happening. But back here, I don't know what I was doing. I have no idea. Dani
You
and
froze. It was literally like someone just took a remote for you and just hit the pause button.
unplugged me. Yeah.
Like seriously, you went completely
Wow.
still. I didn't even know if you were breathing really. And then everything in the apartment went like eerily silent, like no noise whatsoever. And then as soon as you came back, the printers went off. It was so weird.
Yeah. So it'd be cool if you can somehow weave that into this too. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we
Yeah.
want people doing that. It's pretty cool. And Denise, yeah, it would have been cool if we ran into each other in the dream.
Maybe you did.
Yeah. I mean, that would be, ultimately, right? TD, that's another perhaps experiment is have something in the middle, right? Have a third party
Oh.
with information and see if you can get two people to connect that way. And then
Yeah.
analyze. There's a million. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah. No, I love that. The mutual dreaming. That's something
Yeah.
that we tried before. And it's funny because I feel like with the green, I mean, think about it. How many times in your life have you had a dream about the color green and it being very prominent?
Yep.
I can't think of any.
Sarah and I had a mutual dream once or twice,
Yeah.
literally almost identical in places and things. It's just freaking weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to dig into that.
Mallory would wake up at 3 and back up at 4 for the whole week after her dream experiment here.
Yeah. She had written me about that. And that was one where the spirit guides are letting you know that they're watching over you and that they're protecting you.
Oh, nice.
See, I want to tell Deedee I've been trying to do sleep hypnosis for fasting the past couple of days, and I've woken up and have been fasting with no problems. Literally have been doing good past 2 days. I am intermittent fasting, by the way. So yes, I'm eating, but in windows. Oh.
Okay.
That's something I have not tried.
Oh, so it's like it kind of taps in on a subconscious level then.
Yeah, it must. And that makes sense because, like I say, anytime you're trying to figure something out, you set that as your dream intention and you're giving it to your mind to work through while you're asleep. Because that's really what it's for, is that your subconscious is working through all the stuff out during the day and trying to help you figure it out or process what happened to you depending on what's going on,
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it would make sense that sleep hypnosis. Yeah. So that would really, I want to try sleep hypnosis now.
Yeah.
That's going
I
to
have to
help.
look into that because I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I don't really either. I was like, anything to do with hypnosis that I get really I want to, I don't know. Cause I feel like my whole thought process on that is, can't you well, obviously, I guess you can planting an idea in someone's head and then it grows, right? That's
yeah. I am sketchy on sleep or on past life regression because I feel like you're also giving somebody control because it's a form of hypnosis.
Yeah, well, it is,
is,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do past life regression, but it's one of those
me too.
I want to really be able to trust the person that I'm going to sit with. And I kind of want someone else in the room also. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
Validation point. Yeah.
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 And it's just like anytime, like when you do a ghost hunt or any kind of a dream experiment where you're working with other people, if you work with hypnosis or past life regression, you're connecting your souls or your energy with each other.
Mhm.
And I feel like, if it's not done right, can you break that energy free? You know, like that's why I put times on mine. This is the only time it's happening, the 14th to the 15th. So this is when there's an open door for this and it's automatically closed. So I made sure to close the door behind everyone,
Yeah.
you know, so that it's not just an open, because I don't need people coming to my house all the time, you know, so.
Well, it'd be like a portal then. Are you kidding me?
Right, yeah.
I think that's what happens is even in investigations, the way we do certain things, if you're not very precise, like it's an open invitation. Doesn't that create a portal? Yep. So yeah.
Right. And that's why things maybe follow you home or whatever's going on. There's some kind of, even if it's not an actual entity, but it's an energy that sticks with you because you weren't able to like,
oh my God,
leave it behind.
Well, have you ever had, speaking of energy that sticks with you, even like living people, have you ever had an interaction that was either it just somehow it hit you on a level that was more than surface level, or like it was a real emotional transaction, and then like for days you can't get over whatever happened, or you can't stop thinking about that person?
Yeah,
like that's an energetic connection. You still have a cord to that person. Yeah. So that's, Yep. That all ties in together. Like sometimes that stuff I'll sit and that'll keep me up at night sometimes thinking about stuff like that. Like all those times in my past where I've been upset about something like that, that's a cord I let go for how long, that who knows what was running along that line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's probably what it is. And that's why it comes back to you, because you haven't, dealt with it.
It's not like the door's not closed, the cord's not cut. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, giving a time frame is a safe bet then.
Yeah, that's what I figured that same, I tried to make it clear that that's, what I was doing. And I even told Anna Mae, because I did talk to her about it too. I told her ahead of time, people are going to be coming in. They're going to be trying to connect with you for dreams. And then it was over. I said, okay, we're done.
Beautiful.
I am a massage therapist and I have to do protective. But yeah, I bet. Yeah. Because you're so close with people. Yeah. And you're absorbing their energy. Oh, okay. Ooh. You want to do the 2 dream interpretations and then we'll do the
let's do that.
Pulls? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We had Kimberly, and I sent you the dream too, Dani, but so her dream was says, as I was walking home from working a full shift at the hospital in a big city, because I remember looking up at the tall buildings, thinking to myself in the dream that I have finally made it and gotten my job with travel nursing. I assumed it was Boston, Massachusetts. I was wearing my favorite color scrubs, teal blue jogger style. Next thing I knew, I was on the cold, wet ground trying to scoot away as fast as I could from this thing that was chasing me down. I knew it was going to kill me. It was familiar to me, and I guess that is how I knew for the fact it was out to kill. This thing was small, not far from the ground, kind of lurking more so behind a shadow veil. I screamed as loud as I could as I continued to crab scoot away. Then when my partner woke me up and said I was having a nightmare, he said he'd never heard a groan scream like that, and he's known me for 10 years. And so the whole crab walk, out of all that, the dream being scary, it was the fact that she had to walk the crab walk to get away from the scary thing, that the part that like messed me up. I was like, oh no, I hate that.
Terrifying. You know what I mean? Like in a way that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I hated that. I was like, oh, I don't like that. But, so, and then I can go into about the haunted doll and stuff too. There's she's gonna stay with you guys at the Shanley, or she's going on an investigation at the Shanley.
Yes.
Yeah. With the haunted items, and there's a certain doll. Which one was it? Is it the shadow doll? Yeah, the shadow doll. So there's something about the shadow doll, about the energy that really bothers her, and she felt like that's probably what was chasing her in the dream. And then she was talking with her daughter, and her daughter was doodling while they were talking, and she asked her daughter, "What are you drawing?" And she had drawn a picture of the shadow doll, and they hadn't been discussing that.
Are you serious? How old's her daughter?
I don't know how old her daughter is, but being there talking on the phone, probably an adult. Right? That's freaky. And then she was talking about the
Yeah.
fact that her family is connected with the Warrens and all that. So she was concerned, like, should she go see the doll, you know? So
Yes. We still have tickets available for Sunday.
So I'll give you the dream analysis and we can talk about the doll. But okay, so my analysis is the fact that she's walking home from work on a path in the city, it's leaning towards career. She's looking up and outside, so she's seeing her future, the success coming, and the clothes that she's wearing is like her ideal outfit. So it appears as though everything outwardly is perfect, right? But then the ground is wet, and the ground is your foundation, and it was wet and cold, which means she's uncomfortable with something and unable to move easily through it. But she's still moving. Something is chasing her. It could be the worry that she's repressing, and being chased may represent that she's avoiding something. And then I went on to say the doll itself could represent the worry or even bring about worry in people. Maybe it has the power to cause doubt and worry. So as far as a dream goes and the symbolism, that's how I categorize the doll, is that it's the thing that's bothering her. So whatever it is in her life she's got this wonderful opportunity that's coming. Everything looks great, but yet there's still something that's bothering her. So it could be, anything from self-doubt or some kind of obstacle she still has to go through. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And that kind of goes along with the card. So I was pulling cards as you were explaining the dream, and
yeah,
it did kind of, so when she was being chased by a doll, is that right?
That's what she thinks it was, the doll. Yeah.
So when she was being chased, and this kind of goes along with like the worry, doubt, and like how you were saying about the ground and everything. So she got, what is that? The 10 of Swords. It looks super scary. So this is like kind of that moment where like you just feel like you're down in the mud, right? Like you just feel like you could not get any lower. So like any of like that self-doubt, like that pinning yourself down, right? It's like just the heaviness that's there. But there's also this amazing aspect of finding your way out of that with the 3 of Pentacles, kind of practicing your skill set, teaching, like learning from somebody and showing other people what you're learning, and kind of collaboration in growing in your skill set, right? So she just got a dream job in the dream. Is that what it was? She got a dream position.
Well, in the dream, she was just looking towards buildings and walking through the city.
Okay.
So, but
there was something about like the scrubs or whatever.
Yeah, I'm lining it up because she does have a future position that she's moving into or aspiring to.
Okay.
And that's what I think the dream was about.
Okay. And then that's kind of where this comes into, because like you're building your skill set, you're a teacher, but you're also a student at the same time. And just coming into your intuition, coming into that more of like that grounded aspect of that mysterious side of yourself, like you're letting out that femininity. I don't know. There's something about that, like coming into your own, came to me with this card. So it's, yeah, like there's some really good stuff there, but there was also that little bit of self-doubt that was kind of,
yeah, that's what I something that she was doubting, because let's see, is she on the side? I'm actually reading my thing to see if I left anything out. I didn't know if she was going to be able to make it on the side or not. And I also got that it's a transition. And you know what's interesting is that I had pulled the 9 of Swords, transition using intuitive abilities that you can move through fear and anxiety, which lines up with what you were saying too.
Oh, that's kind of perfect.
And I said, what did I say about this? I said, the fact that you have so much history with the Warren family and the farmhouse, I think it's in your energy field. So familiar symbols to you and your family will come up in your dreams. Possibly your daughter drawing the doll is to connect maybe something about her and your dream meaning. So I kind of question, could this be also something about the daughter? Are you concerned about your physical? Oh, and then she was saying something about like the doll causes heart attacks or something. And so then I just asked her, was it a physical like heart, or is it an emotional heart? Like, is she something really great's going to happen, but there's something about it that you like anytime a door opens, another closes. So sometimes it's like a heart issue, but like you're
like a bittersweetness almost sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was trying to say.
No, but no, it's exactly what that is. Yeah, like sometimes you have to say goodbye to something in order for something else to start, right? So it is literally like that
Yep.
closing one door to open up another one kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could even just be the transition itself that,
Oh.
So I don't think she's here.
No, I didn't see her on the side yet. I'm sure she'll I know she did say
Yeah.
if she could make it, she would come back later to see it.
Yeah. And she can always send me a message afterwards, and I'll send her the interpretation too in the email. You could pull some cards in between too, like we've been doing. So
All right. Yeah,
of
let's
waiting.
do this for Mallory.
because they're starting to pile up.
Okay. All right, Mallory. So I got Ace. Oh, that one jumped. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. So I got Ace of Swords for you. So this is going to be, so aces are always this new, vibrant, something coming in, and your ace is also an Ace of Swords. So this is going to be kind of like your thought processes, anything to do with intellect. So new ideas, new forward movement on maybe going after a project and having the know-how and the skill set to kind of work out any nuances that are going to go with that it's going to give you the like that one up on somebody else to get the project. And there's a lot of feminine power that's coming in with this, so like a lot of intuition. So I got the two cards that jumped out as I was shuffling are the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. Very intuitive ladies, very much in tune with the flow of the universe, emotion, even so. Sometimes they'll say that the High Priestess is like the darker side of emotion. It's really not. It's just those things that we don't necessarily always let the light come to. So it's one of those, you have a balance right here with that female flow. So I would say listen to your gut, listen to your emotions, and don't second guess yourself. Like you've got that powerful energy that can flow through you right now. So any thoughts or ideas that come to you, something new's on the horizon, some new chapter is going to start opening soon for you. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's
Nice.
That's what's coming to me for those. And then let's see, who else did we have for a card here?
I know Sam did too.
Okay. Oh, we got Stacy. And then I'll do Sam then after Stacy. Okay. So normally you got the moon, and normally when I get the moon, I usually think it's dark emotions, but for this one, I feel like it's just you're connected. So my eyes are going towards, there's a little path. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's like these two towers and there's this path that leads through them. So the moon is about emotion, is about connection, is about, sometimes, I don't feel like it's so much this time, but sometimes it's about facing fears to move down a path, move forward with something. I think this, for some reason, with this card, I'm feeling like you're just going to have a heightened connection to an intuitive, which you're already super in tune with everything. So I don't know how much more connected you're going to get here, but I feel like you're going to be feeling a lot more than you normally do. And it's going to be something that's slightly more transformative. There's something about the King of Swords where I always feel like there's these thought processes that lead to a new direction in your thinking. Maybe something that you wouldn't have thought of before is going to come to you, and it's going to open up doors that you didn't realize weren't open for you previously. Just because like the sword being your thought processes. And I don't know if you can see it, but there are butterflies, and the one looks like it kind of has a crown on it. So it's kind of like that peaking of transformation. So I don't know what you have going on, Stacy, but I feel like you'll be more in the flow than you normally are. Sit with that. If it doesn't make sense now, maybe it'll come later. But
that's cool. He's always doing interesting stuff. I love his Ask Stacy, where he talks about stuff that I've never heard of before.
I love that show so much.
Yeah.
He's an amazing individual. All right, Sam. I always get so excited when I see her in the chats on the shows. Oh, thank you. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense for you. Okay. So we have Temperance here. And so Temperance is more of like, ooh, hey, is kind of like, so he has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. So this is like your connection to spirit. You're finding that balance between the flow. For some reason, I was very drawn to, there is a like a pyramid or a triangle on his chest. Just feel like this is more of a instance of spiritual guidance, of energetically being led somewhere. So whatever, if you're working through something with energy or with emotions, something new, some new form of information or new set of feelings of emotions are going to come to you. Page of Cups usually is a bringer of new things. This is like sometimes if people are looking about relationships, sometimes this means pregnancy or a child coming, but it just could also mean new ideas flowing, new sets of emotions, a fresh start in something. But it seems like, you know, you're being guided to a more balanced mindset. So maybe heightened intuition. Definitely keep in touch with your emotions, and when you're having something that really piques your in your thought, like, oh yes, I'm having this feeling, like kind of see what's going on around you, because maybe there might be a spiritual connection to it, like maybe the other side's trying to send you messages. So I would just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
No, I love that. That's balance and connection. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's when I got stuck on. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, but the other stuff, yes. Okay, good.
I agree.
Crystal, I honestly hope to God that it connects with people sometimes, because I can only go with what I pick up on. And yeah, so far so good, right? That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Was that, I think that was it for cards for.
Okay.
Do we want to go?
Then, yeah. Okay. So Dale sent in a dream, and he said, last night I dreamt that I was driving through the city that I live in. I was in a familiar part of town when I saw my son standing on a corner with a group of his friends. So I stopped to talk to him and see what he was up to. He said that he was living on the streets, and I asked him why he doesn't want to come home. He wouldn't tell me, so I kept begging him to get in the car and we can talk, but he kept refusing, and I kept following him all over the city, and I kept seeing him sleeping in a sleeping bag on street corners. I kept asking him why he won't go home to sleep in his own bed, but he still wouldn't tell me. And this is how my whole dream is going to be, just following him around the city and trying to convince him to tell me what's going on. So I felt like the sleeping bag was him, that he's warm, he's fine, he's safe, but his life, that's how he sees his life. But the fact that he's sleeping on the street means that he feels like his father feels like, or our dreamer feels like, his son is not safe, and he doesn't like how he's doing his life. He says you want him to get in your car could be the path you want to drive for him. So Dale's not giving him a car to drive. Dale's telling him to get into his car because he wants to drive the path for him, which is something that a lot of us parents want to do. We see where our kids need to be doing, you know?
Yeah.
But basically he needs to follow his own path. You know, some people, it takes longer to get to where you need to be. Some people like to take the long way.
Mm-hmm.
Going home, he wants him to come home with him. And that to me resembles or means that he wants things to be back the way they were probably before he left home. The meaning could be the ways you're trying to help or guide him are not working. You're just following him around. You're observing what he's doing, and you're not entirely sure what to do. And so I had set a dream intention of what you could do to offer him some guidance.
Okay. So I kind of, when we started the dream interpretation, right? When you were saying how he saw him on the street and how he wanted him, basically like he wanted to bring him back and he wanted him to be okay. So it's kind of like there's this wanting to move on to better days, right? That wanting to just move on to calmer waters and just kind of like pick up and walk out of the chaos, but also too, maybe it's saying that don't look back on something, like you're holding a situation from flowing the way it needs to because you're wanting it to be a certain way when maybe it needs to be another. And that kind of led into the next card for me too. Like he's seeing the situation as his son being down on his luck, down in the dirt, and not having anywhere else to go. But really it's just more of a, and not being able to help him get in the car, right? So there's like this temptation of all these different choices of like, what can I do? How can I help? Just a lot of almost like anxiety that comes with this kind of a card. So there's a lot of anxiety that's built up with this because there's so much going on around you that it's hard to focus on like what path should be taken. And I just felt like it was the dream, from what I got from the cards, maybe was more if he's holding himself or holding something back for his son. Just like an emotional, like there's something that he's holding himself back from or not letting himself see. So it's causing some sort of anxiety. That's just like, I don't know if that really matches up that much.
I love what you said, because the card that I got was the 8 of Wands reversed, which is a card about the cycle of time, a journey to awareness. So his son is on his journey to his own awareness. But the card for the dreamer is doubts, anxiety, and missed opportunity for learning. So it's kind of like,
okay.
And that totally fits with what you said.
That kind of totally fits. Wow. Okay. That's wild.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What Oh man. Well, I actually really enjoyed both of those dream interpretations too. Those were really good dreams.
Yeah. And thank you. I didn't even say thank you. Thank you to everyone who sends in their dreams. Thank you to everyone who participated in the dream study, because I couldn't do it without you guys. And I hope that everybody got something out of it that helps them, makes them more excited about dreaming and investigating these type of things, and we'll work on another one in the future.
Please.
Do it again.
This was so fun. And now it's like, now that we kind of got a taste for what it can be like.
Yeah.
So now this is even more exciting to like really dive in with it now that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, people really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. And just like, even the anticipation of waiting to hear about it was even fun. Cause it was just like, you had this thing to look forward to and it was just exciting. Yeah. So Deedee, thank you so much for putting that together for all of us. Seriously, that was amazing. But guys, do you have any questions or anything on the side before we call it a night? Absolutely. Aw. Yes, right. I want to do another study too.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Aw. Well, thank you, everybody on the side. Thank you so much for tuning in and for participating with us. We really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. All right. Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess we will see you in not next week, but the week after.
I'm not too sure what the date is, but I think it's just in February, like the first Sunday in February, maybe.
So it would be the second.
Or maybe it's
Sunday.
the second one.
Second Sunday. Yes, we will.
Okay.
We'll get the date posted then. But thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful night.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.